Before you leave a dislike, I did not say in this video that you should not use an antivirus. Maybe watch the video first before actually making your judgment. Yo, what's up, Pikakid98 here, and today I'm going to be ranting about I hate modern antiviruses. Now, the last time I spoke about this sort of thing, I got absolutely destroyed because I spoke shit about VirusTotal, because VirusTotal is still garbage. It's still garbage, by the way. But the problem is that most, if not all, modern antiviruses, in other words, antivirus that are still actually updated, they use something called heuristic. If you don't know what heuristics are, essentially it's artificial intelligence determining what may or may not be malicious. Now, the way heuristics work is that it looks at what a program does. Now, think about it. If like a program extracts temp, what's extracting the temp? Oh, well, it's actually malware. But now think about any other program, like most programs that exist. Oh, well, it's extracting a .exe to temp. Well, that must be malware. What is actually being extracted though? Well, for example, it's a click team game or a multimedia fusion game, whatever. So it of course extracts a.exe, which is basically the main game, while the main.exe is basically just like a self-extracting executable file, whatever. Oh, but it just extracted a .exe to the temp file. That must be malware. What evidence do you have? Is the program itself actually malware? Or did you just guess based on the fact that it extracted something in the temp? So essentially how it goes is, when I launch Play Night, I launch it from Steam. And then I launch a Finding Games launcher, which I've made, which I actually forked from the old Spelunky Classic launcher. And upon launching it, I would get that classic, oh, well, we need to scan this file. And then suddenly it was one threat detected, and realized that those files were completely gone. I obviously wondered why. Now, why did Windows Defender eat it? Did I actually put malware in it? Yeah, I definitely wanted to run malware on my actual computer that I made. I mean, sure, some of the code wasn't my code. Yeah, sure, you could argue, oh, it could have been malware. It could have been malware. The most annoying part is that it wasn't just suspicious of this program, it was outright hostile towards it, completely deleting it. I suppose what it was suspicious of was the fact that it includes scripts to essentially hide the command line, which, yeah, can be seen as malicious because maybe the bash script. Antiviruses these days are so hostile towards anything that even remotely sneezes the word suspicious. It could be literally anything. Oh, well, this program checks your system resources. Oh, well, that's malware, that's probably spyware. But what does the program actually do? What is the program? Well, the program is an open source tool that allows you to check your system resources. But of course, that's considered malicious, possibly. I mean, it wasn't removed on my computer, but it's like, that could be considered malicious because it scans your hard drive, or it scans your BIOS or whatever. It's like, it does some malicious stuff, or it embeds itself deeply. It doesn't actually detect what the program is, simply what it's doing. Which again, can work, except for the fact that when a program simply behaves like malware, but isn't actually malware. Okay, so I feel like I didn't give very good examples here, so I'm going to give a few. For example, let's say a downloader. It downloads a file from the internet. Now, while that can inherently be malicious, it's only detecting that it downloads something rather than actually detecting what it's downloading. Another example can be programs that end tasks. Like, for example, I believe there's a third-party one called rkill, but there's also the built-in task kill. Now, that can inherently be seen as malicious because it's ending tasks, but it's not ending an important task. It could just be ending the command prompt. It runs a command prompt and then ends it. That can be seen as malicious. What did it just run? Or it could literally be a program that's designed just to kill Notepad. Next up is command prompt hiders. The one that I use is called Silent CMD, although there is one in like GM82 Core for GameMaker 8.2, which is what I've replaced Silent CMD with. Now, it inherently is malicious because it hides its scripts. But again, what are the scripts actually doing? Let's say, for example, the script is, it literally is just echo hello. In other words, it does nothing. But it's still flagged as malicious because it's hiding the text. It's hiding the command prompt. Again, Silent CMD has so many fucking false positive detections. Programs are complex. Everyone knows that programs are complex. You can't just make a program and have it just exist. I don't know what I meant by that, but you know what I'm trying to say. So yeah, it kept getting flagged as malicious over and over again, like every single instance, and I had to keep going through each and every one of them, just whitelisting them. But the problem with modern antiviruses is that people trust them too much. I've seen so many game pages on like games.rich.io where there's people in the comments saying the game contains a Trojan, and the developer or even someone else is saying like, oh, it's just a problem with the engine, or it's Click Team Fusion, it's just a problem with the engine, it's a false positive. They don't respond with, oh okay, then I'll whitelist it. No, they respond with, oh, maybe get the false positive fixed, or maybe get the malware fixed, or maybe fix the Trojan, maybe your computer's infected. It's like, do you understand what a false positive is? Most people these days, when they see an antivirus, they immediately think,
oh, well, antiviruses are perfect. If it detects something, then that must mean it is malware.
Except, no, not even fucking slightly. You could be using the shittiest antivirus ever that just detects everything. My feet. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I have a bad throat there. Basically, when someone sees a virus detection, they immediately think it is actually malware, and it's either the developer's fault or the developer's PC is infected with malware. For example, AHK2EXE, which is an auto hotkey converter that converts your auto hotkey script to EXE. Now, you may not have heard of auto hotkey. It's essentially a programming language that's specifically designed for macros. Now, in layman's terms, a macro is basically, let's say for example you run this macro in the background and you say, oh, I'm going to press tab, and as you press tab, a program of your choice opens. Like say for example you set tab to open OBS, that kind of thing. Now that has very legitimate uses, but of course, since it's a .exe file containing a script, it's potentially malware, according to the shitty antiviruses, of course. Modern antiviruses don't actually scan for malware. That's the problem. They don't scan for malware. They scan for suspicious programs. They don't warn you that it's suspicious or that it might be malware. They just immediately say, yeah, that's malware. Hey, antivirus.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have a source for that claim?
Oh, my source is that I made it the fuck up.
Exactly, yeah. Heuristics-based antiviruses are probably some of the worst antiviruses I've ever seen. And as we're getting into the age of AI, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. We cannot get a perfect antivirus. There is no such thing as a perfect antivirus. There'll always be false positives. But what about patches? How about that one? Patches. Fucking hell. Fucking patches. It's like legitimate tools that are made legitimately. Real, genuine tools that patch like older software. For example, like GM8X which is a program designed to patch old Game Maker games. But of course, since it's modifying a file, then it's considered malicious because it's modifying files, which is similar to what malware does. Do you have any evidence as to how it's actually malware? No, but you still flag it anyway because you're a fucking piece of shit, Windows Security, Windows Defender, Windows whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm going to fucking stop now, but so yeah, I'm just going to end the video here. So anyway, I've been your host, Pikakid98, it's been Pikakid98 Rants, and you've all been fantastic. So until the next video, I say bye-bye.